Hey, welcome back to the show. So, sitting here playing Xbox, and I came across this strange interview with John Boyega, previously seen in the Star Wars universe and Disney Wars era. Mess of, I guess you'd want to call it trilogy, I suppose. Not the word I would use. But I don't think he's been making a lot of strange comments, since the Jar Jar Abrams Roundhead / Roundhead Johnson era has officially come to an end because it was complete dog shit. And apparently he's been attacking fans. I got a couple of videos to show to prove this to you. Like, I've been a Star Wars fan my entire life. Those who follow my channel know that I'm more of an advocate for the expanded universe. I don't like the Disney Wars era. Like, my Star Wars has always been the books, comics. I'm more a fan of the games. Everything from LucasArts era, KOTOR, Zero Night 2, Republic Commando, Force Unleashed, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Star Wars Obi-Wan, Jedi Academy. All those games from back in the day, even the new ones, Fallen Order, Jedi Survivor, Outlaws. And the games have been fantastic. Well, that's besides the point that I don't understand how you can be in something like Star Wars, good or bad, and say stuff like this. So let's take a look at the comments this idiot is making, because this is why people walked away from the fan base in the first place. So let's take a look at these clips here. Like, I'm always going to be a Star Wars fan. I'm always okay with walking away because there's really nothing to grasp right now. I mean, I know people are going to be praising that stupid Andor show, but I'm perfectly fine with just ignoring it, pretending it doesn't exist because it doesn't. Not to me. So let's take a look at this clip here.
Because that's all that's left. Star Wars fans.
Not talking to me then.
Jonathan Boyega, who's in big trouble,
Jonathan.
has attacked you personally. I'm guessing it's Star Wars theory at this point. Is he the last Star Wars fan? I don't know.
Barely?
Well, there's Star Wars fans and there's Disney Star Wars. Star Wars died in 2012 when George Lucas finished signing his name on that piece of paper with Satan.
Oh.
And
the white slavers, as he said himself.
The white slavers who think concentration camps in China and shrink this dude on the fucking poster. And he wants to blame fans. So let's hear the context. Now, they're doing a documentary, a little late. They should have probably done this in Black History Month, or maybe it was made in Black History Month. But it's
nobody cares.
It's leading men in Hollywood. And I know nothing about this documentary, but I hope they really talk about how Hollywood likes to feminize the straight black male and how they treat them in film, because I'd be behind them on that one.
Gay!
That sounded gay.
Okay, that sounded a little gay, but I would support their argument that they have feminized the black male in Hollywood.
Black men in Hollywood, and I would be behind them.
I would be behind their argument, dumb shit.
His mind went there, and we can make of that what we will.
Well,
wow.
We know where his eyes go. Pair of tits on a dude. So here we go. Yeah. You know what?
Pandering. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had the vibe of being in the most whitest elite space. Like, this franchise is so white that it's like a black person existing in that was something. And you can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando Calrissian and had Samuel L. Jackson.
You mean Mace Windu?
I'm fucking confused. What?
Yeah,
So
I'm-
is it
No,
bad?
it's a circular argument. It's so they can be perpetually a fucking victim. Well, forget that we're pointing out that there was black characters and one of them actually blew up a fucking Death Star and had a heroic moment.
People
So we
adore
can
Mace
still
Windu. He's
yeah.
considered like the coolest Jedi.
And Lando.
You know what? When I was a kid, I didn't give a fuck that Lando was black. Nobody gave a shit. Billy D. Williams was just cool, was just a cool fucking
Yeah.
dude and had a redemption arc. It's like, fuck off with this shit. God damn it. It's so tired. But we're doing this again, so let's hear it.
It's like telling me how many cookie chips are on the cookie dough. I'm like, bro, they just scattered that in there, bro.
But
So, like, my analysis of this so far is that he's just talking out of his ass. He's butthurt because Disney Wars trilogy didn't do good things with his character like he wanted, like you probably imagined. So they kept switching the damn directors. Jar Jar Abrams didn't have no damn vision for Star Wars. Roundhead made it worse, and they gave it back to Jar Jar. And he made it even worse than whatever Roundhead did. Because he was just trying to, quote unquote, fix it, and he just made shit worse. Bringing Palpatine back. Rey's the granddaughter of Palpatine or some shit. I don't even remember. I never saw it in theaters, like I said it wouldn't. I had no desire to see Disney Wars, whatever the third one was called. Rise of Palpatine, I guess. Because there ain't no Skywalkers anymore, apparently. Kylo Ren was the last Skywalker and they killed him off. Or what do they call him? Ben? Phony ass Jason Solo. Like he's an insult to Jason Solo from the expanded universe. Like as an advocate of the expanded universe, Kylo Ren is an insult to that character and everything he's supposed to be. Jason Solo would run circles around Kylo Ren. That's besides the point. Like yeah, he's just mad that he didn't get the ending he wanted with the character, whatever that was. Like I thought he was going to be a Jedi. I thought he was going to be like a version of Kyle Katarn, because Kyle Katarn in the EU, in the expanded universe, was an Imperial and he defected and became part of Jan Ors, and that's the rest of that history. Those two were the original ones that went after Death Star plans and Dark Forces. That's where Rogue Zero got the little stupid story from. They wrote that, stole it from the EU. It's like everything else Mickey Mouse has done. Ruined Thrawn somehow. I don't know how you do that. Destroy the Skywalker's character. Like, Luke Skywalker would never try to murder his nephew or any family member. The thought wouldn't even be in his head. He would meditate and take the kid aside and talk to him. Like, struggling with darkness is a Skywalker thing. And Luke went directly into the dark side cave back in the day, despite warnings from his master. Directly into the cave. Took his weapons and he failed his test. Failed it. So, like, that's what I'm mad about. Like, honestly, Finn, kind of forgettable. It's not his fault. It's the fault of stupid writers and dopey directors that Empress KK don't hire. Jar Jar Abrams don't want to write for shit. He destroyed Star Trek too. I don't know how you do that. Like, I'm not really a Star Trek guy, but like, I like the first one. And the second one, I understand why Trekkies don't like the Wrath of Khan remake, whatever it was called, Into the Darkness or something. Like, I understand why Trekkies don't like that. That's basically what it did here. So, and Roundhead took the baton and just made shit worse. But even if you ignore the Luke Skywalker stuff, the last third or whatever it's called, it's a terrible film. Can't even call it Star Wars. It's just not. It's not Star Wars. And Finn, unfortunately, just a victim of all that. So I feel like this is just him venting in the wrong way. If you want to vent on this type of shit, go play a video game or go outside, go to the gym, punch some bag or something with your boxing gloves. But don't go on the freaking internet and blame your shitty character on the fans, because we had nothing to do with it. Like, you're blaming the people that paid to see your shitty film. for something that none of us had anything to do with. And I'm like, I wasn't going to be a dire fan. Most of the expanded universe, the original trilogy, prequels, not Attack of the Clones. Probably the worst one in the prequel trilogy, being honest. Say what you want about the Phantom Menace, but Phantom Menace had the pod race. I love the pod race. Phantom Menace had the Darth Maul fight and all that in between stuff with Palpatine rising to power and manipulating everybody in the Senate. It's important stuff. Attack of the Clones had none of that. That's beside the point. Yeah, he's just mad that his character and he's probably mad he didn't get the hook up with Rey. That's why he's mad. You get the hook up with the Snow Bunny in the movie. Yeah, I get it. But ranting online is not the way to handle it, pal. You probably wanted to bang Rey in the movies and never got to do it. That's for your thing, dude. Not really, but I get it. Still, ranting online is not the place to do it, pal. So it's not.
Bro,
They're okay with
pause. You're counting the cookie chips in the cookie dough.
By the way, Mace Windu, way better character than Finn. And then Lando Calrissian is fucking iconic.
Yes, absolutely.
What is this? I don't
But no,
understand.
the fact that we're pointing out it makes it bad. We're just pointing out facts now makes it bad because it's a circular argument. It's not supposed to be an actual fucking argument.
But it makes
Perpetual victims, man. Stay in that space. It's a mindset. It's a mindset. You stay in that space, you're going to be miserable the rest of your fucking life. The world owes you shit. Sorry. Especially when I'm talking specifically about Hollywood here. We're talking about pretend. We're talking about make believe. Okay. We're not talking about a regular job or fucking going to the coal mines or anything like that. We're talking about meritocracy. You have to be good. I'm sorry your career went to shit afterwards. Maybe get a new agent.
Like, from my opinion, it's like the fact that he got to be in Star Wars, good or bad, I'd be celebrating that for the rest of my life, man. I don't care if I'm a custodian on set. I get to see the Millennium Falcon with my own freaking eyes. I'm losing my mind. It's like it's on my bucket list to go to a Star Wars park at some point and fly the freaking Millennium Falcon like I always wanted to do since I was a kid. And this meat bag is just crying. It's just sit there and go the way it wanted. It's too bad, man. That's life. Then I get the bang Ray, so now I'm mad.
okay.
I'm guessing James Earl Jones doesn't get to exist in this either
Nope.
because he's a voice.
No, probably not.
Well, like he played one of the most iconic villain in history, one of the most iconic characters of all time, and it's like, nah, sprinkles of chocolate on cookie dough, or whatever the fuck he said.
Stupid. He's just another fucking adult
pretender.
Stupid idiot.
That's what he
Just
is.
another stupid fucking
He was
idiot.
saying stupid shit during the BLM stuff, and he's saying stupid shit now. And by the way, every motherfucker that I've talked to, everybody in the chat, everybody defended this guy and found him to be, during the trailers, the most interesting and captivating character. But if we point that out, I guess that's racist too. So fuck off.
Yeah.
I mean, the dude got to be on set with Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford. I don't know if you met Carrie Fisher, but he got to be on set with maybe one of the most iconic actors of all time. Indiana Jones, Air Force One, Star Wars. And he's sitting there crying because, what? Can't get any work right now or something? I don't know. Can't get any ass? Dude, call date early up and just go. You're at a hotel and bang the shit out of her. Can't be that difficult. It's really not that hard, guys. I know he's talking to her on the side at some point. He's got to be. I'm just like, dude, just because your character was shit doesn't mean it's the fans' fault. You want to blame someone, blame KK, blame Jar Jar Abrams, blame Pablo Hidalgo, and those are idiots that work at Disney Film. Don't attack freaking fans. You're not going to win that fight, ever.
I distinctly remember there was a lot of conversation about the intrigue around the whole trooper business, why they were getting so rattled, scream, literally like screaming traitor, this kind of like almost cult-esque kind of vibe. There was rumors that they were going to go into storyline about how these stormtroopers were actually taken as children, and that's how the Empire was now recruiting since the clones weren't being produced anymore. And there was lots of places that his story could have gone, and it could have been very interesting. And a lot of people actually thought that by the end of the trilogy, it would be Finn and Rey as Jedi together fighting against Kylo. And no, they turned him into a sidekick. They turned him into a sidekick for the worst character that Star Wars has ever produced, and Jar Jar Binks is laughing his tits off at Rose Tico.
He should. Jar Jar had it all compared to her.
Yeah.
The fact that you turn this on the fans when it should be Disney, Lucasfilm, Kathleen Kennedy, and hiring Jar Jar Abrams and Rianne Johnson. That's where your ire should be directed, not the fucking fans who just simply said, we hate this fucking movie because it sucks. And most people were pissed about how they treated Luke and Han.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, your character was insignificant, buddy, and that wasn't us. But this will help you get jobs, because while the producers will quietly agree with you, Jonathan, behind your back, they will go, well, this guy's difficult to work with. We're not going to hire him anymore.
I'm speaking to you from my heart. Look, I don't know if I'm going to have a career after this. Fuck.
They're okay with us playing the best friend. Once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much.
What in the name HK-47 is he talking about? I told you, he's just mad he didn't get the bang right. That's what I'm taking from this. This is sad. This is really sad. Dude, you got to be in Star Wars. You got to wield a freaking lightsaber. You got to be in the Millennium Falcon. You got to act alongside freaking Harrison Ford. I don't know if you met Mark Hamill because they never had any scenes together. But dude, you got to be in a trilogy of Star Wars films. They sucked ass. But it's not his fault. Ain't the fans' fault either. I'm like, dude, the character kind of sucked. You want to talk to Jar Jar Abrams about that? Be my guest. But you want to take out your frustration on Chris KK? You ever get her a makeover in the process? Be my guest. But like, going out to the fan base. We would love to the fan base, I guess. I guess we always love to the fan base is going to be watching that Dopey Andor cartoon or whatever. I don't give two shits about it. I don't care about Andor. Andor to me is another shitty character just like Finn. Just not memorable in the long run of things. Forgettable, just bland all the way around. Like Finn is just an example of a character that has so much potential and kind of threw it down the drain. Jar Jar even started this mess with 7. Had a great first act, and then Death Star 3 showed up, and then I just threw my hands up in the air and like, we're doing this shit again. Another freaking Death Star with the same damn weakness as the first 2. I thought the second Death Star was ridiculous too, because it went down even faster than the first one. But his problem apparently is African characters in Star Wars, and like the fact that they got brown skin was never mentioned in the movies. Ever. Lando was never. No one ever talked about Lando's skin color. No one ever talked about Mace Windu's skin color. Ever. I mean, like, those are the only two I can think of that are in Star Wars universe as far as the movies. Now, the expanded universe, there's probably so many more characters in general that most people will never really be aware of, like Joey Bindo from KOTOR. I think he's in the first one. Joey Bindo, no one ever talks about his skin color. He's just a gray Jedi, old man, gray Jedi, lived on Kashyyyk with the Wookiees in the Shadowlands. Skin color was never mentioned, ever. I mean, Revan could be any background you wanted him to be, except for aliens. Obviously, I always play it as an African kind of brown skin or whatever, but never brought up skin color, never. So I don't know what this idiot's talking about. And there's like, I used to defend this character for the most part, and now I think I carry him less now. And I think he just lost a lot of respect from the fan base, whoever's left, I guess. Like, I can't see anyone defending him after this. This is just sad. It's just sad. I mean, you're depressed because you didn't get to bang Ray. That's the one thing. You can still bang her in real life. Only thing stopping him is himself. So, like, call her up, tell her to meet you at a hotel, and bang her. Simple. Shit. I guess Finn ain't got no Mac in real life too. We definitely didn't have any Mac in the game in the movies. So again, you just blame Jar Jar for that because he's the idiot that wrote the script apparently. He started the mess in 7, and it got worse in whatever after that, and then 9. Some bloody train wreck. I'm just like, I was really just mad with The Last Jedi, whatever it's called, about Luke's character. I didn't really care about anything else because nothing else really happens in the movie, from what I can remember. Just like most of Disney Wars material, except for The Mandalorian. Rogue Zero was boring, characters were shit. And what I've seen of Andor just put me to sleep because it's boring. Andor guy is boring. I hated emo girl from Rogue Zero. I couldn't wait for her to get killed off. The robot was funny, but most of the characters are just bland. They don't go anywhere. And they all get blown up or something at the end. So I didn't give a flying F after that. I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. Saw it once in theaters, never bought it again. The Vader scene is like 10 seconds long, so it doesn't even count. It's at the end of a boring ass movie. So no one's ever going to convince me that Andor is worth watching. No, it's not going to happen. Like, the visuals are cool, I guess, but like, it's just a random rant. But the visuals are cool, I guess, but like the character itself is like, yeah. Doesn't this idiot get blown up or something and wrote in the only movie he's ever been in? Now we gotta find what he's for breakfast every morning, I suppose. All right. Have fun with that, meatbags. But like, this dude, I don't know what else to say.
What are you
Oh,
talking
yeah.
about?
Oh yeah, I remember when I said that about Blade. Oh, if I point that out,
What
I'm
are you talking
racist.
about? Lando destroyed the Death Star.
Yes.
No, he was
Talking about?
just the best friend, just doing best friend shit.
He's full of
Lando
shit.
had more of an impact on Return of the Jedi than Han Solo did.
I don't even understand. Mace Windu, known as Yoda's best friend.
Yeah, Yoda's bestie.
What fucking thanks for just saying something that makes everyone angry. Good job.
And that's just wrong. He's
Yeah.
just wrong.
That's what I mean. It achieves nothing but making people angry because of how wrong it is. That's all
Well,
you did.
When you teach people to be a victim, all they will ever look for is victimhood.
Yep.
That's all they will look for. And this is a This is a prime case of that. We could go through multiple films, multiple genres, multiple TV shows with lead black characters, and suddenly they're all irrelevant and forgotten, and they're not legitimate within their own right. This is Boyega being as racist as he could possibly be right now. These actors, they're stupid. They're just as stupid as anyone else.
I think they are dumber. I think like your average IQ in Hollywood is functionally retarded.
Oh, the audiences don't want to see black people as their heroes. What fucking planet are you on?
I grew up watching Richard Pryor and Eddie Murphy and stuff like that, and they were my fucking heroes.
Yeah, we put on our white robes, and we, Az and I went and saw Equalizer 3. You know, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Watch his results.
John Boyega went on an unhinged rant about white Star Wars fans yesterday. Now, let's set the table here. The Disney trilogy was a complete and total disaster. It would be incredible if there was, I don't know, thousands and thousands of fans that told you this and said that they were literally using people for their identity and not for good storytelling. I'm pretty sure we've had a lot of fans calling that out over the years, that Disney decided we're going to cast people because of their identity and not because we have a good story to tell. And the end result is that the sequel trilogy will go down as arguably the greatest failure in cinematic history from a storytelling standpoint. John Boyega says Star Wars is so white that a black person existing in it is a big deal. Toxic fans are okay with us playing the friend, but we can't touch their heroes.
Lando Calrissian was a fucking hero in Return of the Jedi.
Oh, he addresses Lando. And
I'm sure he does.
He does.
We love Mace Windu. How about the fact that John Boyega, if you're pissed about being the friend or being the joke, blame Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson for making your character, who could have been awesome, man. The idea of a stormtrooper turning hero Jedi, I don't care what your fucking skin color is. I don't care. That'd have been really fucking cool. But Ryan Johnson made you a joke, had you running around the galaxy with fucking, what's her name? Rose Tico in Last Jedi, that awkward kiss, and then nothing. Blame Kathleen Kennedy for that, John Boyega, not us.
Yep. But here we are. And so, and if you, and I talked about this in my video, but I said it, like, generally speaking, now that the sequel trilogy is behind us and it's a complete failure, generally speaking, if there's one thing that I believe is, okay, I'll say this, to be fair, there's two positive things that I hear discussed from the sequel trilogy in theory. It's that Adam Driver is a fantastic actor, which he is, okay? And that John Boyega had the most potential, and people thought he was going to be the hero, and they wanted him to be the hero. That's what people said. But yet he's blaming Star Wars fans for being toxic, when Star Wars fans are the only ones who were like, we thought John Boyega could have been a great Jedi. His story would have been much better if he would have actually followed the path that they were trying to portray in the trailers. And yet he's blaming the fans for the behavior of the studio. This is absolutely fucking nuts.
Yep.
John Boyega called out Star Wars for being so white during an interview as part of the new Apple TV Plus documentary, #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. Boyega debuted as Finn in Star Wars The Force Awakens and reprised his character in The Last Jedi to
Like, shout out to Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic. Like, Finn's character, John Boyega's character, was on all the posters for Disney Wars 7. And then he was sidelined for Rey. So, honestly, His Ray doesn't make any sense. Like, I'm joking when I say he wanted to bang Ray. Probably did, but I thought he was going to be the main character of the Disney World trilogy. Turns out he was just a sidekick or a side character, which is fine. But they made it seem like he was going to be the main character. He had the lightsaber in all the posters, all the trailers. He had the lightsaber fighting Kylo Ren. The phony ass Jason Solo. And then you get to the movie and he just watching from the sidelines. I mean, he had no chance against Kylo Ren. Neither of them did. I still don't know to this day how Ray beat him, but it's another reason why Jar Jar Abrams can't write for shit when it comes to these long-running franchises like Star Trek, especially Star Trek and Star Wars, and a number of other things he's directed over the years. He wants to be the new Steven Spielberg, and he'll never be Steven Spielberg. That's really what he was really gunning for when he took on Star Wars. He wanted to get one up on Steven Spielberg. Understandable. I think Steven Spielberg would have done a much better job with this had he been given the reins of the Star Wars trilogy. I never understood why Steven Spielberg was never hired to do Star Wars in the first place. I'm like, of all the directors that should have done Star Wars, Spielberg should have been the number one. I don't know how it didn't happen. And especially now George Lucas is no longer involved. Like, you want to get like A-list Star Wars movies out, get Spielberg. It's like they need a W for Disney World because their movies have been ass. From Star Wars 7 just got worse. Rogue Zero was shit, in my opinion. They could fell asleep in the theater. Never watched it again. Oh man. I don't think there's been a movie on the screen since 2019. It's 2025 now. That's about 5 to 6 years that we have not had a Star Wars film on the big screen. 5 years. Think about how much money they lost in the past 5 years not having a Star Wars film on the silver screen. Now they re-released Phantom Menace on a silver screen last May. I went to see it. It was beautiful seeing George Lucas Star Wars on the big screen. I had a freaking tear in my eye when I walked out of the theater. Saw it twice. Revenge of the Sith coming back to theaters end of this month. Going to see it. There's no way I'm missing that. If someone were to release the original trilogy, I'd be there day one. Disney World trilogy, you have two shits. Shit, I might even see Rogue Zero just for the experience, I guess. Most for the Darth Vader scene at the end, but just because it's in that universe, I guess. I'm like, yeah. Now, I'm saying that now, but I doubt I'm actually going to do that. So I was like, dude, what are you doing? I'm just like, I don't understand how you can be in Star Wars, an actual trilogy or whatever you want to call it, just to be a character in that universe. Actually being able to see the Millennium Falcon with your own eyes, act alongside Harrison Ford, witness Mark Hamill on set, witness Carrie Fisher, RIP, on set. Even Billy Dee was there, I think, for the last one. I don't know. I don't know if they killed the character off, but I know Lando was in one of them. To witness that in your lifetime, while these guys are still around, and then do this, what are you doing? What are you doing? It's like going up to George Lucas and saying, "Hey, by the way, I hate your franchise and everything you've done for the movie genre." Because George Lucas didn't just do Star Wars; he invented Lucasfilm Ltd. The sound effects that used in every other film out there, Skywalker Ranch, all the merchandise he's made from Star Wars, made millions of dollars. It's like going to George Lucas and slapping him in the face and thinking you're not going to get thrown out of the Skywalker Ranch and completely banned for life. That's what this is like. When George Lucas ain't going to say that because he doesn't care. He's doing his own thing now. He's doing little side movies for his friends, which is cool. But like, this is bad, man. Like, dude. The character was crap. It's not your fault. Like, I thought Finn had a lot of potential in the Disney World era. Like, a lot of potential. Like, coming up the expanded universe, I thought he was going to be like Kyle Katarn. Kyle Katarn, I said this earlier in the video, that Kyle Katarn was an ex-Imperial, and he defected to the Empire once he realized the Empire was responsible for his father's murder. And then the Dark Forces storyline features him and Janeway going up the Death Star plans, which is a story they stole from the EU for Rogue Zero. So I thought Finn was going to be like that, because we never seen no ex-Imperial that becomes a hero in the Star Wars universe before. Never. I mean, in every other TV show they have someone, at least one, wear Stormtrooper armor. Even Kay Vest does it in Star Wars Outlaws. So I kind of wish that they make an update for that and give players a chance to just wear the Stormtrooper armor when you're invading Imperial forts. I think that would be a nice touch. But yeah, his character was crap. But yeah, the only one you should be directing your anger towards is Kathleen Kennedy, Empress KK, Jar Jar Abrams, Roundhead, Pablo Hidalgo. You want to be angry at them.
Rise Skywalker. His role in the sequel trilogy led to online harassment from racist and toxic fans, Star Wars fans upset with a black actor playing a lead hero in a space franchise.
Jeez.
You do not hate the media enough. You do not hate the media enough. They are it is 2025 and they are still running with this lie. They're still running with this lie. This is absolutely fucking wild.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's crazy, man.
Good God. Let me tell you, Star Wars always had this vibe of being the most whitest elite space. It's a franchise that's so white that a black person existing in it was something. Boyega said in the documentary, you can always tell it's something when some Star Wars fans try to say, well, we had Lando Calrissian and Samuel L. Jackson. It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough. It's like they just scattered that in there, bro.
Why don't you own apartment buildings? Seriously, why?
A reason. Well, first of all, Lando, back in my day, Lando was never referenced as a black character. Lando was referenced as a great character.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't until identity politics took over and Star Wars fans were always labeled as racist until we had to go, what are you talking about? We liked Mace Windu. We liked Lando Calrissian. That's the reason they're referenced in that way, not because they're black actors in a role. It's because you accuse people of being racist based off absolutely nothing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah, like you said, when I was growing up, Lando was a smug pimp gambler, Han's best friend. That's who Lando was. Like, it wasn't like, oh, that's Han's black friend. It was like, nah, here's this smooth talking, gambling, smug kind of, just character that wound up being the hero in Return of the Jedi. Mace Windu, he was a Jedi. He was a Jedi Master on the Jedi Council. That's what he was. He wasn't the Black Jedi. He was a fucking badass. And we all wanted to see Mace Windu fight. When we see Mace Windu in Phantom Menace, we're like, fuck, man, we want to see this guy go at it. And finally, we get, the battle on Geonosis, and we see Mace Windu kill Jango Fett. That shit was awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to see Mace Windu drop a motherfucker in the middle of the prequels.
Yes.
Just call him he should have called Palpatine a motherfucker. Boom. Oscar-winning material right there. But yeah, so that's the reason that they're always referenced like that. It's absolutely stupid.
Hell, Darth Vader was voiced by a black man.
That's right. They're okay with us playing the best friend, but once we touch their heroes, once we lead, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's a bit too much. They're pandering, the actor added, also while acknowledging that being cast in the franchise was a fundamental moment in his career. So you're complaining, yet you're trying to say it was a huge moment for your career. This is fucking insane. John Boyega is a piece of shit. He just absolutely is. He's a piece of shit. Boyega first aired his grievances to GQ magazine in 2020 about Disney's fumbling of diversity in the Star Wars trilogy. He said at the time, what I would say it to Disney is do not bring out a black character, market them to be much more important in the franchise than they are, and then have them pushed aside. It's not good. I'll say it straight up. Well, looks like you were on point back then, but now it's the fans' fault. So you're admitting right here, you are literally admitting that they used you for your identity, that they marketed you for your identity. You are admitting that they destroyed the story all because they focused on identity, and now you're blaming the fans for not liking it. This fucking guy has no idea what he's talking about.
Yep. Blame Kathleen Kennedy and her self-insert of Daisy Ridley and Rey. Because John Boyega's Finn could have been really freaking cool.
He could have.
Yep.
You guys knew what to do with Daisy Ridley. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. You guys knew what to do with Adam Driver. No, they didn't. Again. Nope. Now, I will argue. I will the point that I've made from the beginning that I thought Adam Driver was really good in The Force Awakens. I didn't like that he took his mask off, but he was an interesting character, and Adam Driver is a damn good actor. So there was an interesting dynamic to what they were trying to do with Kylo Ren, and they completely screwed it up as the trilogy moved forward. So that proves the point that they had no idea what they were doing with Adam Driver. They had no clue what they were doing.
Yep. And that's all about direction and leadership, because Kathleen Kennedy gave each director, she let what's his name, Ryan Johnson, completely undo everything. There was no actual direction from 7, 8, and 9. They were individually allowed to do whatever story they wanted in that moment while they were filming it, and there was zero end goal. Where are we going to end up? They didn't have that. They just let them do whatever the fuck they wanted.
But when it came to Kelly Marie Tran, when it came to John Boyega, fuck all. So what do you want me to say? What they want you to say is, I enjoyed being part of it. It was a great experience. Nah. I'll take that deal when it's a great experience. They gave all the nuance to Adam Driver, all the nuance to Daisy Ridley. Let's be honest. Daisy knows this. Adam knows this. Everybody knows I'm not exposing anything.
So, here's the funny thing, right? The Lego Star Wars games low-key make fun of all the movies. And I played through the sequel trilogy ones. I think 7 is probably the most fun for that particular version of the story. Once you get to 8 and 9, it just really highlights all the problems with the movies. And Finn just doesn't have a character. That's the main problem. He doesn't have a character. Like, he started somewhere and then just kicked him off a cliff and hope that he'd land on his feet or something, because he doesn't have a character. Like, it's the same thing I said on Boba Fett over the years. Boba Fett has always been shit. He's never been cool. People have always tried to paint Boba Fett as this badass bounty hunter he's never been. It's the same here. He's trying to, I guess, promote himself or something. He just comes across as an idiot. But Ben was on all the posters. He was in all the trailers for the promotion material. It's the first character you see in the first teaser trailer for Disney War 7. First character you see. Never cared that he had brown skin. Just like, oh, cool, a stormtrooper. What's the next scene? It's like it's never been about color. But these days, it's like we gotta make a check mark. Oh, look, there's an African guy that's gonna be in the new Super Friends movie. That I guarantee 95% of people in the audience have no idea what the hell he is. Even diehard fans don't give a shot to give a damn on Mr. Harrison. I don't. I was like, he's the first character you see in the damn trailer. You see the sands of whatever planet that was, and he pops up on the screen. It's a stormtrooper dude. It was like, hey, look, a black person. You can make a joke about that, but it was never about that. Yeah. I'm like, you gotta shit this. No, like, I'm one of those fans that can happily step away from Star Wars as far as like the fan base or whatever's left of it. Because like I always had the expanding universe to fall back on. That's why I'm always been grateful for the books and comics and games. It's like honestly, I don't want to give a damn about Disney Wars era. Like most of the TV shows are crap. The movies sucked. I didn't see Disney Wars 9 on the silver screen. I watched on Disney Plus and I'm just kind of confused as to what I was seeing. There's some good ideas in there somewhere. I guess Jar Jar Abrams got some kind of creativity. Not much, but somewhere in that warped mind of his. Roundhead, on the other hand, just there's nothing in that big head of his worth a damn. That's to make anything creative. Like he's just a fool. This little kid that was given a toy box with no direction on how to actually manage that toy box in that universe. And that's basically what the result of Disney Wars is. And then like, oh, what did Kennedy say? The expanding universe doesn't exist as soon as George Lucas sold over his soul to Mickey Mouse. And then X amount of years later, when they have no characters that people give a damn about, the first thing they do, oh shit, let's bring in Thrawn. He's a popular character, right? Oh, yeah, sure. He's only the one character that launched the damn expanding universe in the freaking 90s. Sure, yeah, he's popular. They they made a crappy version of Jason Solo with Kylo Ren. I thought Rey was Jaina Solo. That's why I got excited. But she can't even compare to Jaina Solo because Jaina's kind of complicated in the EU and difficult to describe her character because she has so many layers. It's tough to describe her even in a couple of sentences. That's how complex Jaina Solo is in the EU, in the expanded universe. Same with Jason. Like he's not, whiny brat or anything. He's actually really smart. And yeah, uh, I don't understand where this is actually coming from with this dude. Again, got to be in Star Wars, pal. Like, that was me. I would be celebrating for the rest of my freaking life. I'd be like, dude, I got to be in Star Wars. I got to see the freaking Millennium Falcon with my own eyes. I got to meet Harrison Ford, as grumpy as he is. Freaking legendary Indiana Jones and Han Solo in person. I got to see Mark Hamill on set. I got to see Carrie Fisher on set. I got to see Billy D. Williams on set. I got to meet Oscar Isaac. I got to meet fine ass Daisy Ridley. But no, it's not a count for any of that. It's the fans' fault that your character is complete dog shit, right? Stupid. I mean, I know April Fool's is past already, but like, come on, dude. Damn.
So your beef is with the way that Disney treated you
Yeah.
Yet you're blaming the fans for the way that Disney treated you.
He's missing the plot, bro.
He is all fucked up, man.
Yep.
Good Lord. Boyega later revealed that a Disney executive reached out to him following his GQ interview. He said they had a very honest and very transparent conversation. And the Disney executive added there was a lot of explaining on their end in terms of the way they saw things. They gave me a chance also to explain what my experience was like. That's all you wanted, was for them to acknowledge you. That's all you wanted. So I don't know what he thinks is going to come of this by trashing the fans and calling them racist, but it's going to have a negative effect. I'm assuming he wants to be recognized by Hollywood is what it feels like. He wants Hollywood to acknowledge him, so that's why he wants to play the race card right now. This is absolutely insane, dude.
Yep.
I can't believe how out of touch with reality this clown is.
Yep. He's out of work and he wants to get back into the good graces of the higher ups in Hollywood.
I bet you that if you go back and watch the marketing for The Force Awakens and you watch the media tour that him and Daisy Ridley were on, they assumed that they were going to be megastars. They assumed that their careers were made and that everything was going to be perfect. That is because you were such normies to Star Wars that you didn't realize that Hayden Christensen suffered. You didn't realize that Jake Lloyd suffered. You didn't realize that Mark Hamill never really became a megastar just because he was Luke Skywalker. But you thought just because you were in Star Wars that you were automatically going to become Harrison Ford. Harrison Ford is a generational talent and has charisma on a level that we've rarely seen. And I say that as someone that, and I never really appreciated that until I saw him at Star Wars Celebration years and years ago. I think this was during the 40th, if I'm not mistaken. And Mark Hamill came out on stage. George Lucas was there. Several other people were out there. When Harrison Ford walked out there,
this hydrogen water bottle is going viral. It slows down aging and disease. Watch this video now before the bottle.
Different level, bro. Like, I was like, that's a fucking movie star. That's a fucking movie star. Nobody else mattered on that stage when Harrison Ford walked out. He just had a different fucking level about him that you can't recreate. And so in their minds, they're thinking, we're all going to be Harrison Ford. And it's like, no, you're not. Harrison Ford is next level, and he has been for a long time. You're not that. You got a great opportunity, and your careers didn't go in the direction that you thought, maybe for different reasons, and now they're just bitter.
So let's watch this teaser trailer from The Force Awakens way back. I think it was, 2013 or something? Let's see. 10 years ago, this came out. 2015. First character you're going to see is Finn on the screen. Here, let's see. See, look. First character you see in the freaking first teaser trailer for Disney World is freaking Finn. What the hell is he talking about? This being like a freaking Caucasian only space. It's the first character you see in the damn trailer. First one. Don't give a damn about skin color. This is like, oh cool, look, a stormtrooper. What the hell is he doing on the sand planet? That's the only question I had. Guys, like, maybe start taking drugs or something since Disney Wars ended. Can't blame them. The movies were terrible, but the first one you see. Like, case closed, dude. Like, they didn't. I don't think they even showed Ray in the first teaser. And again, even in the movie, He's in that battle in the beginning of the film. You don't see right until at least 10 minutes into the movie, maybe. Yeah, there he goes again. He's in that group with stormtroopers. Opening in the movie. Now there's Ray. See this gear right here. I thought she was Jaina. That's something Jaina would wear. That's something Jaina would wear in the expanded universe. That's why I thought she was Jaina. And there's what's that was his name? Joe or something. And this is the first cheater for Kylo Ren. That awesome looking saber. And he's another character that was wasted potential, but you're not going to see Adam Driver complaining about that. Because you should have more class than that as an actor. You take your wins, you take your losses. Like you don't go after the people that bring in the money for their billion-dollar films. You don't attack them. Understand? Just stupid. This is Jeff from World Class Bullshitters.
The streams, or if you want to see more of me, you can watch my hands in the toy videos. But today's topic is so egregious that I had to pull out the camera, light this room, and get ready to talk about one of the most asinine comments I've ever heard in entertainment.
The following is a world-class Bullshitters exclusive.
Now, we've talked about pop culture shit in the bed for quite a long time. If it wasn't Amber Heard, it was, well, every other actor that runs their mouth and says stupid shit. At this point in time, it kind of goes hand in hand with entertainment. I don't expect a new movie from Disney to come out without some actor running their mouth, no matter if it's a man or a woman, no matter if it's political, racial, whatever. I always expect that from Disney. But what I don't expect is a situation where years removed, after so many other things have come and gone, one actor is trying to bring up some racial tension to draw attention to himself. And well, it's working, but for all the wrong reasons. Now, the actor in question is one John Boyega. You might know him from Attack the Block, but around here, people know him as Finn from Star Wars. And well, nobody really disliked Finn here on this channel. Now, we only have an online reach of close to 250,000 people, but we've never once complained about this thing that John Boyega is talking about. Now, let me give you a little bit of a backstory. I'm not white. I don't know if you knew that, and I really don't care because it's irrelevant to the conversation. My videos aren't about race. They're about toys or merchandise or things that don't sell or entertainment or stupid-ass actors.
I mean, if Boyega wants to be mad about something, the fact that he was basically a glorified janitor, something that I'd probably be upset about. Still, it's not a reason to go after people on the internet because that's how people are going to look at him now. You gotta be careful what you say, especially these days. Like, say the wrong thing at any time, you're just gonna get roasted, man. And like you said, I think he is trying to draw attention to himself. Like, there's better ways to do it, you know?
Who run their mouth and make it about race. That's when I step in because I'm all about everybody. I have equal disdain for every human being. But in all seriousness, folks, when actors say stupid crap like that, it doesn't make me just roll my eyes. It makes me a little angry because we do this thing called taking a step backwards. And nobody wants to take a step backwards. We want to move forward. But we can't have that because of actors like John Boyega. Now, you've been watching this for just a moment. You're probably wondering what he said. Well, let's talk about that. In a recent documentary, #1 on the call sheet, Black Leading Men in Hollywood. What a great title. John Boyega sharply criticized racist Star Wars fans who resist diverse casting in the franchise. He remarked that the series has always had a vibe of being in the most whitest elite space, highlighting his presence as Finn, a black stormtrooper turned hero, unsettled some viewers. Boyega mocks fans who point to characters like Lando Calrissian and Samuel L. Jackson's Mace Windu as sufficient representation, saying, "It's like telling me how many cookie chips are in the cookie dough." He further noted the double standard where black actors are accepted as sidekicks, but face backlash when stating, once we trailblaze, it's like, oh my God, it's just a bit too much. They're pandering. Reflecting on his career, he called The Force Awakens a fundamental moment, but didn't shy away from addressing the prejudice he and co-star Kelly Marie Tran and Amandla Stallberg endure from toxic fans. Last time I checked, that lady from The Acolyte and John Boyega have no crossover, so hey, way to just name drop to draw attention to yourself. But let me give you a little more attention, John, because this is bullshit and it's not world class. Let's take it back to 2015. What are my complaints with The Force Awakens? Terrible storytelling, terrible characters, a pointless plot, which is rehashed from the original, and it's a money grab that everyone can see coming a mile away. At what point did I talk about race? See, here in this fandom, most of us say that Finn wasn't treated right.
And I wanted to point out that everybody was under the spell of Disney Wars when Seven first came out, Force Awakens first came out. It wasn't until I listened to World Class Bullshitters that I just kind of had my eyes open to how dumb it really was, and how much of a nostalgia trip it was, and how it really did fail to bring something new to the franchise. Because outside of the first act, I would say it was kind of original, and then Death Star 3 showed up, and then it went downhill from there. And it kind of completely lost me as a fan. I denied it, of course, a couple of times, but then the one after it just got worse. And I say 7 is bad because of what comes after it, but really, it was already a mess on its own. So, again, none of it is about skin color. So I wanted to make sure that's completely clear. As I've gone through these videos, you see, most of us are on the same page. Not all of us are on the same page. That these comments from John Boyega are just completely absurd, and he's a fool. And I think he just needs to stop talking. In general.
The one character who was mildly interesting and not a rehash of Luke Skywalker, Han Solo, or Princess Leia. He was the one guy who was a bad guy and was going to be redeemed into a good guy, and we were going to follow his journey. And most people that aren't in the country of China were cool with it. We didn't want Rey, the lady who was handed the lightsaber. But the black guy can't speak up and say that feminism trumps racial equality because it's 2025 and he still wants to work. All of his racial talk is really frustrating because as a guy who looks like me, I never once look at a character and go, ooh, I identify with them. That's who I'm supposed to like. No, that is stupid and regressive. Take a look on the shelf behind me, will you? There are tons of characters. There are Power Rangers. There are X-Men. There's wrestlers, The Rock. Guess what? They're all different colors. I don't go in to buy something and go, what looks the most like me? What can I go home and feel empowered by seeing on my shelf? No, that's stupid. I look at something and go, that's pretty cool. I want to have that. Or, oh, I collect the rest of the set. Got to catch them all in regard.
Like when you bring up like skin color, just it reminds me of the issues that a lot of comic fans have with like characters like Miles Morales and Sam Wilson's Captain America. Because unfortunately, as cool as they are in their own way, neither of those characters have their own identity. And I hate to say it, it's probably kind of is because of their background. Because it's not like Sam Wilson's a character. I like Miles Morales as a character. I don't think Sam works as Cap. And that's another discussion. But unfortunately, Finn kind of falls in that category of not really having an identity. He's kind of a legacy character, but not really. He doesn't really have a character. I mean, nothing that's really memorable anyway. I mean, I can't name one thing about this guy that would get me to sit down and watch that god awful trilogy ever again. I mean, he was a lightsaber. He seemed like he was a pretty commendable fighter, at least in some regard, despite being a custodian. But other than that, he's being mad for the wrong reasons. It's like the fact that he was kind of a sucker for Ray in the last film, whatever it was called. Crying over Ray and this and that. I'm like, yeah, it's really not fans' fault, pal. It's all Jar Jar Abrams and his terrible writing. You want to get technical, but it's like, yeah. I think I need to stop talking. Like, dude, there's healthier ways to get your sentiments across without coming across as a dumbass. And unfortunately, Mr. Boyega has officially been labeled a dumbass. And I have a lot of fans, myself included. I'm like, dude. I'm like, Ethan Gaines just mentioned, like, all the hatred that Hayden Christensen, Jake Lloyd, and a whole bunch of other actors got. But you never had them going online and throwing shade at the fans. No, they just went about their lives, and now Hayden Christensen is actually adored by the fan base. Ewan McGregor's back in the spotlight. What's the chick's name for Ahsoka? Yeah, crap, I forgot her name. Rosario Dawson. All of them, they're all in the spotlight now. Jake Lloyd has been kept away from the fan base, thankfully, because of his mother. It's good looking out for her. But apparently he's still a diehard fan, so I'm like, good for him. I was kind of nervous about, I know a lot of people out there attacked Jake Lloyd for being a kid actor and basically being told to do his freaking job, which was do whatever George told him to do when he did it. And I'm like, it's not his bloody fault. Well, a shitty script. Well, again, you never saw Jake Lloyd going online saying, hey, by the way, the fans that made this movie a success, I hate all of you, which is basically what John Boyega is saying, without really saying. And this isn't going to go away anytime soon. This is the type of stuff that Lucasfilm really needs to be on top of, because this is not going to help their case with the next Star Wars films, whenever those get released, if they ever happen. It's already been 5 years since the last Disney Wars train wreck, so at this point, I don't really see. Again, some people out there don't pay attention to the online stuff, which is cool, fine, I suppose. But those of us that do, they're not giving enough time for me. One reason I'm using Disney Plus is for Daredevil show. Other than that, I don't really have any desire to use the service for anything else, because I own all the Marvel films, the good ones. I have all the Star Wars movies, the good ones, 1 through 6. None of the other ones really matter. Andor is crap. I have no interest in that. Rogue Zero was boring. I was like, yeah. So, movies like Solo and Rogue Zero are just dopey prequels that never needed to exist in the first place. And Andor is just another boring ass prequel that honestly is not going to go anywhere. COVID was okay. It's not the best show I've ever seen. He kind of deconstructed Kenobi's character, made him a failure like Luke was a failure in Disney Wars. I never bothered with the Boba Fett show because I never gave two shits about the character. I never liked Boba Fett in the books or anything. Just it was never that interesting. He never had a character. Crying out loud, Cal Kestis has more development than Boba Fett ever did. So I say like I've always been more of an advocate for the games and the books. And like comes to this type of stuff with John Boyega's stupid comments, it's like, yeah, say what you want, dude. I just doesn't really affect me. He's talking about this in general statements. Just general statements are really stupid, but yeah, just so much proof that he's the first character you see in the damn cheater trailer. So it's talking about Clay folk are like sidekicks and whatever. Like he's the first one you see. First character you see is him. He's on all the posters for the Force Awakens at the time. All the posters, all of them. He's the one with the lightsaber. Ray had that little staff thing. She didn't have no lightsaber in the damn trailers. That's probably Empress KK intervening and making sure she had the spotlight because of her box. Probably what that was. This film was advertised as the main character for all the teasers, posters, probably most of the promotional material. But I guess he forgot about that. All his whining online. Stupid.